Continued to hear testimony from representatives of banks regarding the closure of Gupta-related banks accounts. Nedbank CEO Mike Brown took to the stand. He said the bank communicated with representatives of the Gupta-linked companies before terminating their relationship. He says Oakbay officials tried to give reasons as to why the accounts should not be closed. However, the bank still felt it was necessary to go ahead with the closure. Brown has cited reputational risk caused by escalating media reports about the family as a reason for the bank's move. Senior executives of other major South African banks gave similar reasons for closing the Gupta company's accounts when they appeared earlier this week. Brown says he also received an invitation from ANC Economic Transformation head Enoch Godongwana to attend a meeting at Luthuli House after Nedbank terminated its relationship with Gupta-owned companies. Brown says he was told the meeting was for the ANC to get a better understanding of why, in general, banks close accounts. He said he did not feel pressured by the ANC to reopen the Gupta's bank accounts during a meeting at Luthuli House in Johannesburg. Now, for more on the story, we crossed our reporter Glorious Sefako-Musi, who is in Parktown at the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture. Glorious, talk to us about the most important points and testimony that came out today.
Good afternoon, Zinga. Mike Brown, the CEO of Nedbank, went into details, taking us through a timeline of what happened from the time they decided to close the account of the Gupta-linked companies. He mentioned that the reasons why they closed the accounts was because they had a contractual right to cancel the account, given that each and every customer as well can terminate the account. They also have a right to give notice to a customer and then close the account subsequent to that. So he mentioned that they also took into account the adverse media reports that were doing the rounds, given reports about the Gupta businesses and the negative reporting about them. He also said the statement by the former Deputy Finance Minister, SABC, that he was offered a ministerial position by the family, and it was released on a National Treasury letterhead. That was a big issue for them. Following that, KPMG, as the auditors for the Gupta-linked for the Gupta companies, dropped them, and Sesfin also as a broker sponsor also dropped them, and that was. It presented reputational and business risks for them as a bank to continue working with them. After that, he said they issued a letter, a notice. They called a meeting with a Gupta representative to discuss this issue, to issue a notice that they will be terminating the account. A meeting that was attended by Mr. Howard, who refused to take the letter, and the letter was sent to them by registered mail. Following that, they received an invitation to attend the meeting at Luthuli House. At the meeting, he said they mentioned that they could not go into details of confidential clients' information with them. So he said at Luthuli House, as the bank, they did not feel pressured as to the direction that they should be taking, or maybe reversing their decision. But then after that, they were also, like the other banks said, were invited to a meeting by an interministerial committee. What is different about their encounter was that they were made to believe that the finance minister would be at the meeting. And they went to the meeting. The finance minister wasn't there. When they raised the question as to where the finance minister was and why the meeting was held without him being the custodian of banking regulation, not being there, they were told, no, the minister is aware of the meeting, and he just could not make it because it was an ad hoc meeting, so to say. But he said that at the meeting, he felt pressured in a way that there were some veiled threats that were made as to the chairperson of the meeting, who that was the former Minerals Resources Minister, Msebenzi Zwane, who mentioned that he felt that the other banks who refused to attend this meeting, remember there were testimony from the other banks that said, like FNB yesterday, that said they refused to attend the meeting, they declined the invitation to the meeting. He said Zwane did not take kindly to that. He said they did not seem to respect the interministerial committee, and they should be attending the meeting with government because government issued licenses, banking licenses. So he said at the meeting he was asked if perhaps Nedbank couldn't step in to save the jobs, provide transactional banking, be the primary banker for the Guptas, so as to save the jobs that they said were online since they couldn't pay salaries. But he said Nedbank could not do that. They were not going to change their decision because the risks which they listed as the reason why they were closing their accounts were still a threat to their business. Zinga?
Glorious Sefako-Musi giving us an update of that state capture inquiry that's still taking place today in Parktown North. She'll keep us updated on that story as it develops.